Chapter 15. Fracture without repair. When wholeness holds the broken. There are breaks that never close, a crack in a wall that widens in the winter frost, a scar on skin that will never fade entirely, a silence in a relationship that cannot be bridged by words alone. Each one holds the evidence of a moment when something shifted and could not return to what it was before. They do not reduce the value of what remains, they are part of its shape. To stand before a fracture is to see both its history and its endurance. It is not simply a reminder of what was lost, but a sign of what continues in spite of it. The broken edge becomes part of the whole, as true to it as any unbroken surface. Much in life teaches us to fix, mend, and restore. We are encouraged to smooth away the signs of damage, to cover what is altered, to replace what no longer works as it once did. Yet some wounds do not close. Their presence does not mean we are incomplete. They offer another kind of completeness, one that honours what cannot be undone. In the Ghosts movement, to acknowledge a fracture is to resist the urge to hide it. We let it remain visible as proof of the moment it was made and of the life that has continued since. Wholeness here is not a polished ideal, but the acceptance of everything that shapes us, including what remains unresolved. The usual idea of wholeness is something smooth, seamless, free of flaw, but this vision ignores how life leaves its marks. Breaks do not always vanish with time, and a person can still be whole while carrying them. Some fractures are visible to all, showing in the way we walk, the tone of our voice, or the patterns in our reactions. Others are hidden, carried quietly inside, where only we can feel them. Seen or unseen, they alter our outline. They influence the way we meet the world, the way we stand in it, the way we respond to others. Even when repair is possible, it leaves its own marks. A surface may be patched but show a thin seam. A colour may be matched but never exactly. Texture may change. The aim, perhaps, is not to erase these signs, but to recognise them as part of the whole story. There is a certain strength in this acceptance. When we stop measuring ourselves against a false image of wholeness, we make room for the truth of our own form. The breaks do not need to disappear for life to keep moving. They can be carried forward as part of the shape that holds us. In this way, fracture does not compete with wholeness. It changes its definition. The surface may be altered, yet the whole remains, holding both the broken and the unbroken together. Fractures live in the body as much as they do in memory. They can be felt in the set of the shoulders, in a hand that hesitates before touch, in a voice that falters over certain words. Sometimes we know these patterns so well that they become invisible to us, though they continue to speak on our behalf. There is honesty in letting them be seen. A scar on skin speaks of injury survived. A guarded movement may tell of an old wound, a loss, or a fear carried for years. These are not the opposite of wholeness. They are the proof that wholeness can hold what has been altered. Memory, too, carries fracture. It may appear in the moments we avoid, the places we do not return to, the conversations we steer away from, or it may live in the quiet rituals we create to honour what was lost. Lighting a candle at the same time each year, keeping a photograph in view, tracing a familiar walk that once led to someone we loved. In the Ghost movement, embodiment is not about keeping a perfect posture or preserving an unbroken surface. It is about letting the body hold its history without shame. We move with our breaks, not against them. Fracture also shapes the spaces we share. A family may gather around a table, laughter mingling with the unspoken knowledge of an absence. A community may stand together after loss, each person carrying their own cracks while supporting the rest. In such moments, the broken and the whole are inseparable. To live with fracture is to live truthfully. It is to say, "This is my shape, altered yet intact, unfinished yet present." And in this honesty, there is a form of beauty that no act of repair could create. Living with fracture begins with refusing the pressure to make everything seamless. Letting the cracks remain visible is a choice. It may mean speaking openly about what has marked you, or simply not hiding the signs of change in your body, your voice, or the way you move through the world. Ritual can help anchor this acceptance. You might return to a place connected to your fracture, not to erase it, but to keep it company. It might be as small as touching a certain wall when you pass it, or as deliberate as visiting the site of a turning point each year. Daily gestures can carry this forward. You might let your hand rest on a scar as you wake. Pause to place your palm over your heart in the middle of conversation. Or sit quietly for a moment without explanation. Relationships too shape how we live with fracture. Sharing your altered shape with those you trust, without expecting them to fix or soften it, can shift how the fracture feels in daily life. It can become something witnessed, not hidden. Creativity offers another way. Writing, painting, planting a garden, or building something with your hands can reflect your changed form. The work does not have to explain the fracture. Its existence alone marks that you have lived with it. Integration is less about resolution than about removing the urgency to resolve. It is the ongoing choice to let the broken parts remain part of the whole, knowing that they too carry you forward. There will be no final word on fracture. Some pieces will never fit together again. The outline of your life will always carry the shape of what has been broken. Yet over time, you may notice how these edges catch the light in unexpected ways, how they create shadows that would never have existed without them. To walk forward with fracture is to live without waiting for the perfect moment of repair. The journey continues as it is, with the cracks intact, carrying both the loss and the life that has unfolded around them. This is not resignation, but an honest acceptance that wholeness may always include the broken. In the Ghost movement, wholeness is not restoration, it is recognition. It allows each part, smooth and rough, unbroken and fractured, to belong without question. As you go on, you can let the broken parts travel with you. Let them shape the way you listen, notice, and respond. They are not signs of incompleteness, but proof that you have lived and that you continue to live still. In the next chapter, we will explore how what remains unresolved does not simply live within us, but also shapes the spaces we create, the connections we keep, and the presence we share with others.